Hello, this is Mr. Stansbury. I'm going to take you through some of the problems on the 12B assignment. Okay, first one we're going to take a look at here is number 1. Selling prices of the last 10 houses sold in a certain district were as follows. All those prices there. Calculate the mean and median selling prices. Comment on your results. And then which measure would you use if you're a vendor wanting to sell your house or looking to buy a house in the district? So we can go through, organize all these to find the median, and then you can add them all up, divide by 10 to find the mean. But we can actually do both of those things together on the graphing calculator, or you can also do these on the scientific calculator as well. So here's what we want to do with that. We're going to go into stats. So we do stat, and we're going to edit. We're going to edit our table here. Okay, so sometimes you'll have stuff up there in list 1. So like, let's say if I had some stuff here in list 1 and or list 2, if I just highlight list 1 and hit clear, that will make everything disappear. And then now I'm going to simply enter in all of these numbers, 346, 400, push enter, and we'll go to the next one. Okay, so go ahead and went and put all those in. Once you have those all into your calculator, we can go into stats, and then we're going to go over to calculate, and we are going to calculate our one variable stats. Okay, so we've got one variable stats is highlighted here, so we just push enter, and the list, we put everything in list 1. If for some reason you put it in list 2, you'd have to change that, but we left ours in list 1, and then it says frequency list. There is no frequency list we need to worry about, so we push past that and we calculate. And it's going to go through and calculate all of our data for us. So the X with the bar over the top is our mean, so 363,770. So mean for A, let's see, let's do blue. So mean is 363,770. Okay, so 363,770. Okay, and then it also says find the median. Now if you go to look down here, it goes through and it's got this little arrow. We can go farther down. Look, it's got the minimum, quartile 1, and look, there's the median. And if you happen to scroll down a couple more, it actually gives you all of your 5-number summary for like box and whiskers and all that. So anyway, we've got median 347,200. 347,200 is the median. Okay, so we've done that. Which measure would you use if you are wanting to sell your house? So if you want to sell your house, we want the highest value that we can get. So if you're selling to someone else, you want to get as much money as possible out of it as you can. So we are going to want to choose, for us, that means we want to use the mean, because the mean value is 363,770. If you are looking to buy a house, you want to pay as little as possible, so you want to have the lowest value. So in this case here, we would want the median, because the median is at 347,200. Okay, so what, about like $1,700 or so difference. Okay, all right. Taking a look at number 3. Following raw data is the data. Oh, sorry, let me go back. I'm going to go back really quick, and I'm going to show you how to do this exact same process here on the scientific calculator. This is pretty similar to what we have in class. It looks a little different, but it basically does the same stuff. So what you'd want to do on this is you're going to want to push, let's see, I believe it's, it must be data. There it is, data. You push the data, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to enter all these values here into this first column. So I'm going to do 346, 400, and I push enter, and I'm going to put all the rest here in as well. Okay, so I went and I put all the data in there, and then now we are going to want to find the statistics for this. So we do second data, which is stats, and what we want is we want one variable statistic. So we go to there and push enter. All of our data is in list 1, that's right. The frequency, there's not multiple houses that are $348,000 that we sold, so the frequency is just 1. So we push enter past that, and then calculate, and it's going to come up with the same stuff. N stands for the number of things that you put in your list, so there's 10. 363,770, which is exactly what we got there for our mean on this one. And then if you scroll down, this also gives us the 5-number summary, which there's the minimum, there's the quartile 1, and there's the median, 347,200, which is exactly what we got here as well. Okay, so you can do that with either the scientific calculator or the graphing calculator. Now let's take a look at 3. Following raw data is the daily rainfall to the nearest millimeter for a month. Use technology to find the mean, median, and mode of the data, and then we're going to identify outliers in this data set. Okay, so now there's a whole bunch of in here with zeros in it. So we could do this a couple of different ways. I'm going to go back to the graphing calculator on this one here, so we can go into stat. Once it lets me, there we go, and we're going to edit. And we're going to get rid of this list here. And what we can do is we can actually do a frequency list if we wanted to, or we can just enter in each one of the pieces of data into the list and then mean, median, and mode from there. Okay, I think I'm just going to elect to just do 3, enter, 1, enter, 0, 0, 0, enter all those in. The other way you could do it is, if you remember, you can do like 0 is the value, and then this over here would be the frequency. Okay, so maybe we can at least set this up. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's 17 of those. I'm just going to set this up like this, and I can just show you a little bit different way to do it that might make your life easier later on. Then we'll do the ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there is a 2 in there, at least one. I see one there. Just 1, 2. And then there's some 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3s. And then the next one I see is a 7. And there's just one of those. And I see an 8. And there's just one of those. And then there's a 21. One of those, and there's a 42, just one of those. And then the nice part about this is I cross everything off and I make sure that I don't miss anything. So then what we can do is in our calculator, and again you can do the same thing with the scientific calculator, but we're just going to put all these in here. So I'm going to do 0, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 21, and 42, right? So those are all of our values, and then for the frequency we'll just enter those numbers in. 17, instead of having to type in 17 zeros, I just have to do 0 and then 17. There's 4 1s, there's a 2, 5 3s, and all the rest of these are just 1s. Okay. Looks like I messed something up. Did I? 1, 2, 3? No, I guess I'm good. Okay, so this is copied straight into that. So then we're going to go back into stat, and we are going to calculate. This is still just one variable statistics, so we push one variable statistics. Our list is in our values list is list 1, but then now we actually have the frequency list now is list 2. So we have to do second, find the L2 button, which is number 2. So we do second, and if you see that bright blue is that. So then we get L2. We push enter, and then we calculate, and it gives us all of our data. All right. So it tells us that there's 31 pieces, there's 31 numbers in there, so we didn't have to type all 31 in since we did this, but let's see, the mean is going to be 3.19. Okay. And then the median is going to be the number that happens right in the middle. Nice part about doing it this way is actually it will calculate the median for us. The median is actually 0 because there's 31 total. And the median is going to be right in the middle. So we take 31 divided by 2, and that gives us 15.5, which means we want to know what the 16th number is. And the 16th number is going to be 0 because all the way up through 16 and 17 are all 0. So that's why that's the median. Again, a little bit nicer on the graphing calculator or scientific calculator. And then the mode is simply the one that happens the most often, which is definitely 0, because there's 17 of those. Okay? Identify the outliers in this data set. So another bonus of doing it on this calculator here is it's going to give us the 5-number summary because we need to figure out the interquartile range, right? We have to do quartile 3 minus quartile 1. So Q3 minus Q1. In this case is going to be 3 minus 0 is 3. And then we have to take that 3 and we got to multiply it by 1.5, which gives us 4.5, right? And so we take 4.5 and we subtract it from the, let's see, quartile 3 is 3, quartile 1 is 0. So we take 0 and we actually subtract 4.5 to get negative 4.5. Anything that's less than negative 4.5 is an outlier, which obviously, since we're talking about rainfall, there's nothing that's going to be less than negative 4.5. But then we also take 3, the upper quartile, and we add the 4.5, and that gives us 7.5. So anything that's above 7.5 is going to be an outlier. So actually that means that 8, 21, and 42 are all going to be outliers in this case. Now 8 is pretty close because it's right just above our little outliers thing. The back of the book does not have 21, it only has 21 and 42. It doesn't list 8, but I would argue that 8 should also be included in that. Okay. Last one we're going to take a look at here is number 4. Esme runs a day tour business in Amsterdam. She wants to offer a family package that includes the charges for 2 adults and their children. To investigate the number of children she should include in the package, she asked 30 randomly selected customers with children how many children they have, and here are their responses. Calculate mean, median, and modal number of children per family. So let's do this. We're going to do the same thing here, and we're going to enter all of this data. Oh, looks like we have enough room. Enter all this data into the calculator. I'm going to show it on the scientific calculator here as well, just to kind of help out. So normally we are at this blank screen here. We want to go into data. Now there's a bunch of data in our list that we don't want, so we push data again and it says clear list 1, and actually if you go down you can clear all the lists, but we only have data in list 1, so I'm just going to clear that, and then we're going to enter all this in. So let's do this. We've got 1. You know what, let's make our table first. That'll be a little smarter. So the values and then the frequency, right? So we don't have any zeros, but we do have 1, 2s, 3s, and 4s, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 ones, and then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 twos, 1, 2, 3, 4 threes, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 fours. Okay? Mean, median, and modal number of children per family is what we're looking for. So we're going to simply, instead of entering all that data in, we're just going to have to enter this data in and we can calculate it from there. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to go over to list 2. We're going to do 11, 11, 4, and 4. So all of our data looks just like this table over here. And we're going to go into, remember, do second data, which is our statistics. This is just one variable, statistics, even though we got data in 2 columns. All of our data is in list 1, and then this even asks FRQ frequency. Oh, the frequency is what's in list 2 for us, so we highlight that, push enter, and then calculate, and it's going to give us the mean and the median, and we can figure out the mode. So 30 pieces of data, the mean is 2.03. So mean 2.03. The median, if we scroll down, will tell us. Okay. Median is 2. And then the modal number, the modal class is, there's 2 that both have the most. So that means 1 and 2 is going to be the mode for that one there. Okay. All right. That's all we have for the 12B assignment. If you have any further questions, please feel free to ask. Thanks.